Yo, what's up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2019 Back Battles. Today we're using the Necrozma Kyogre team once again with Necrozma, Kyogre, Lurantis, Tapu Koko, Scrafty, and Kartana. It has been a while. It's been probably it's only been about a week since I've uploaded my last video, but I've been pretty busy and also really tired for some, I don't know, like I've had a lot of work to do, and also like I don't know, like I've needed a lot more sleep than I have recently. I have no idea why, but yeah. Otherwise, I have not been able to have much time to record stuff. But I have been working on some future projects while not being able to record. I am currently working on future projects for 2019, so it should be pretty good year. Going to be trying to increase the quality of the content and experiment around a bit. I'm going to be doing some different content. Of course, there's still going to be VGC related content, obviously, but there's still going to be a bit other different content. I'm also expanding more VGC content than just Battle Spot. I'm going to be experimenting around with it. So let me know what you want to see down in the comments down below. But right here, yeah, we'll see. It's been a while. I feel like Sun Series tried playing some games earlier, but like I just couldn't find any. The Battle Spot ladder is almost pretty much gone. I'm not even sure. If like I'm struggling to find games, if it's taking me like 30 minutes to find a game, I don't know, maybe like the series might end early. Of course, Moon Series we're switching in about a week from when this video is being uploaded. So, well, which is the day I'm recording. No, it's it's the day before I'm recording it, but you get the point. It's like the Battle Spot ladder switching in a week. We're gonna be switching to the Moon Series. We're gonna have VGC 2019 Back Battles Moon Series edition. So we'll be kicking that off, and we'll be saying goodbye to Sun Series. Not many players are playing Sun Series. I don't even know if there are any more events. Maybe a Premier Challenge or a mid-season somewhere in the world. But yeah, it's like very unlikely. So basically, not sure. I played a bit of Moon Series. I'm not really looking forward to Moon Series realistically from what I've played so far, but who knows, maybe I just need some more testing. But I'm not a huge fan of the formats. But we're playing Sun Series right now. We'll be right back. Hopefully we can find the game quickly, but we'll be right back with the first game of today's episode. Alright, we got Nella from the United States, 1646 rating as our first opponent for today. Rocking a team of Kyogre, Tapu Lele. Oops, my phone dropped. Oh well. Kyogre, Tapu Lele, Incineroar, Yveltal, Gengar, and Fairforn. Interesting team. A really bad matchup for me. Yeah, this is a pretty bad matchup. Pretty bad matchup. Yveltal is really scary for any Necrozma. Wait, my phone didn't fall. What did fall? Okay. Oh, it was my controller. Okay. So, let's see. I'm gonna have a difficult time against my opponent's team. I think Kyogre's like, I feel like what I do in this matchup is I bring Double Grass, Tapu Koko, Scrafty. That's what I probably would normally do against this team. And when I was playing earlier, I feel like that's what I did. Yeah, that's what I did. So I think I'm gonna lead Scrafty, Kartana, because that covers a lot of leads that my opponent can lead. If you lead Kyogre or Yveltal, I can fake out the Yveltal and go for a Leaf Blade, especially if it's Scarf Kyogre, which that's what I'm assuming based on this team composition. We'll bring Lurantis and Tapu Koko in the back. Tapu Koko is going to be really good in the end game if I can get rid of the Scarf user, whoever's holding the Scarf. Most likely it will be that Kyogre. So if I can get rid of that choice Scarf user, specifically the Kyogre, by either A, getting a knockoff in the Kyogre, or B, just KOing it, then I feel like my Tapu Koko Specs Thunder is going to do a lot of damage, especially in electric terrain if I can get it up against the Tapu Lele. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to go, but my matchup does seem pretty bad. So basically just play well against whatever the Scarf user is. Yveltal and Incineroar is going to lead, which is actually pretty good for me, I think. As we'll lead our Scrafty and Kartana here. I don't need my choice specs on my Tapu Koko, which is actually really solid here. So, what do you do here? I can't afford Kartana to take too much damage because I might need the Assault Vest to switch into a Choice Scarf attack. Let's say from the Kyogre, for instance. Exchanging Fake Outs might be the best play. Let's see, if you fake out Cortana, that's fine. Actually, I could see a instance where if my opponent goes aggressive, you could U-turn theoretically with Incineroar to keep up the pressure. To get in Kyogre for free. So you know what? I really do think you're going to fake up the Scrafty anyway. So I think I'm actually going to go hard Tapu Koko here for some offensive pressure. And just go for a knockoff into the Incineroar. And the main reason I want to make this play is because, one, my Tapu Koko is going to take a knockoff, especially at -1, or a Flareless if my opponent decides to go for that aggressive play. Two, this cover, I'm pretty sure it's a fake out on the Scrafty regardless. We are going to see a fake out come out. It does target down. Yep, the Scrafty. No surprise there. And Tailwind's going to go up, which is completely fine because I do have that choice specs on the Tapu Koko. And it that doesn't really affect it, but the damage is pretty great, especially if my opponent doesn't go for the knockoff right away. So yeah, this is probably alright situation here. I can probably just go Lurantis here and click Volt Switch into the Incineroar slot. And I really like that play. The reason I really like that play is because, one, I can get my Scrafty in with the Intimidate once again. And two, I don't think you're knocking off the Lurantis slot. I don't even know if you're going to target down the Scrafty slot. And I don't think you're carrying Oblivion. I mean, we're going to see a Protect Me Veltal pretty standard. I'm not sure if it's a U-turn either, which I could definitely see. Maybe it's a U-turn into the Lurantis slot. I think that'd be fine here. As I do so much damage to that Incineroar. That's modest specs Volt Switch doing so much damage. We're going to get in Scrafty here for that Intimidate pressure. Now the Incineroar and the Veltal, which are the main, probably the only physical attackers on my opponent's team other than Ferrothorn, but I don't really mind about Ferrothorn too much because it doesn't really want to come in here, I think. So yeah, pretty much just get that Intimidate, and we see Snarl actually, so this is actually a pretty ideal situation. As yes, I'm gonna get special attack boost, doesn't really matter, but basically right here I have so much pressure I can go off of. I can go for fake out, I could go for superpower right here. I could expect Incineroar to switch out in a Lele and potentially go for a double up, which would be able to pick up a knockout right there. So many things I can do. I do want to go for a superpower, I think, into the Incineroar. I could also protect low kick, but I don't really like that play. I could go for that aggressive read, but I also really want to go for a just a fake out on Veltal and keep my berry, especially if the Incineroar doesn't attack here, because I think Incineroar would want to retreat here. Maybe it doesn't, but yeah, it does retreat here. I'm guessing it's gonna be that Lele, but it's actually the Kyogre instead. So I get chip damage on the Kyogre, which I'm happy about, because getting that chip damage on the Kyogre is huge, because of the fact that it weakens the power of the Water Spout, and that's absolutely good for me. So we'll get a fake out off into the Veltal, and we'll get chip on this Kyogre. And as I said before, all I need is to get rid of this Kyogre, and my specs Tapu Koko is going to have a really fun time against my opponent's team. And now, what I can do, probably just protect Lurantis right here. I could go for the aggressive, I mean, there are so many plays I could do realistically. I think I'm just going to get rid of this Choice Scarf on the Kyogre, because if I can get rid of that Choice Scarf, it's amazing for me. So I think what I want to do is just want to go for a knockoff, and maybe it KOs. We're going to see foul play in Lurantis, which is pretty good. Maybe it's a double up here. Oh, it's not Scarf on the Kyogre. That's interesting to note. Okay. So it's not Scarf, it's Specs. We'll find out. It's not Mystic Water, it looks like. It would have done more. I do proc my Berry here with my Scrafty, so I'll heal up a good amount of HP here. And we will go for a knockoff, and that will do a good amount to that Kyogre. Bam. It is actually Specs. That's a really weak Specs Kyogre. Like, that is really weak. I wonder if it Ice Beam. Probably not, I'd assume. Ah, that Specs Origin Pulse, like, it went for Water Spout, right? It just didn't do anything. Why did... Oh, yeah, because it was chipped. Yeah, it was chipped. Okay. I guess just my opponent didn't want to miss. That means I could have went for a low kick and got a huge amount of damage off. Oh, well. I'm going to knock off the Veltal slide and just go for the superpower on the Kyogre. I think it makes a lot of sense here. Because I don't think my opponent can knock out unless maybe you're going for a... wow. That did a lot more than I expected, actually. I just proc my Berry, which is fine, because I'll probably live a hit from Kyogre unless it's Ice Beam. It does reveal Ice Beam, so it does have Specs Ice Beam. Usually on Specs Kyogre, usually Water Spout, Origin Pulse, Scald, and something else. Thunder. but you don't really see Ice Beam too much. I guess that's alright here. I do get a knockoff in the Yveltal. That does a good amount of damage, gets rid of that Black Glasses, and Electric Terrain disappears. Pretty much get to go onto my Tapu Koko for free now. I am a little bit concerned because dealing with the... Okay, wait. Foul Play, Tailwind. Did we see knockoff? I don't even know if we saw knockoff. I mean, right here. I just Volt Switch to Kyogre. I get a free Volt Switch into Kyogre, I think, and I just go Cart. I could Electro Web. That's also another play. I want to Volt Switch though because I want to make sure I have Electric Terrain as an option, so I can Fake Out Stall out in case the Lele's in the back. So let's see here. And Yveltal protects, which is completely fine actually, because now what I do is I get a Volt Switch off. It does target on the Kyogre, and if my opponent does have Lele in the back, I think you're forced to bring out the Incineroar right here because you want that Fake Out pressure against the Kartana, because Kartana is a really big threat here. So what I get to do is I get to go out on the Scrafty right here, and I'm in a pretty good spot right here. Yeah, I'm in a pretty good spot. I get Intimidate off into the Yveltal. That Yveltal's at what, -3 now? It's really not doing any damage here. Incineroar should be coming out. No doubt about it. Could be the Incineroar. Yep. And if Flare Blizzard gets extra range. Luckily, I did knock off the Black Glasses on the Yveltal, so it's really not doing too much damage. We saw Protect, Foul Play. It has to have another Dark type move, I'm guessing. I think it has to be Knockoff. Last turn of Rain. I mean, I just Fake Out the Yveltal. Or attempt to and go on the Tapu Koko. I'm pretty sure it's just Fake Out Tailwind again. Even if that's the case, I really don't mind because I just get the free switch into Tapu Koko, and then I could go for like a Volt Switch into the Yveltal. I could Volt Switch the Incineroar if I want to and get an Electro Web. Like, there's so many plays that I could just go for realistically here. So we'll bring out the Tapu Koko here. Once again, we have that huge pressure, and let's see. Yveltal's actually going to switch out, which is interesting, into the Gengar. Okay, the Gengar being the last Pokemon, definitely not one I expected here. As we will see a Fake Out come out, it will target down my Tapu Koko, so alright. Looks like my Kartana is pretty much a useless Pokemon. Scrafty is actually really good in this matchup once I'm able to get the Scrafty going. So I'm actually going to go Kartana here and just Volt Switch, I think. Because I don't want to let Incineroar get a Flare Blitz off, which is the only thing that can threaten my Kartana. You could go for Shadow Ball. I don't really mind that. Yeah, I'd rather do this play. So I'm in a pretty good spot. My Scrafty just doing so much work. My opponent really hasn't had a way to really touch the Scrafty. Specs Kyogre, maybe my opponent was hoping it could overpower the Scrafty, but right here, like, this Scrafty is putting in a ton of work with the rotating Intimidate, with the Fake Out pressure. And yeah, Scrafty just putting in a ton of work here. We get to go Kartana for free. I don't think you Shadow Ball the Scrafty slot. You might predict this, but like, even if you predict this, like, I'm in an okay spot. Scrafty stays healthy, which is completely okay by me. And my opponent's not going to get Tailwind up in the rest of this game. So we go Scrafty here. And I guess I could still struggle. Let's see. Get Intimidate off, which doesn't matter. We're going to see the Will-O-Wisp actually into the Kartana. It does avoid, but like, I don't think Kartana's main point in this game was to, you know, do damage. The only thing I wanted to do was break this Gengar's Focus Sash, and that's what I basically get. Will-O-Wisp was actually better for me than anything else, like a Shadow Ball or Sludge Bomb, because basically my team's healthy, and now I just double up this Gengar slot, right? And most Gengars in VGC don't carry Protect, and if you're running Will-O-Wisp, I'm assuming you run Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball. Like that, I think you need, I think Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball is pretty standard stuff. And then Will-O-Wisp, and then you probably assume like Taunt or maybe Icy Wind as a support move. So I'm actually going to go for a double knockoff into Gengar and attempt to get rid of the Gengar. We are going to see Icy Wind, so that is one of the signature moves. And yeah, I don't think that Will-O-Wisp miss really matters, because as long as I got rid of Gengar, I mean, my Tapu Koko soloed the Yveltal. I don't think Yveltal had any way to beat the Tapu Koko. And the burn damage doesn't really matter, because like, I just need to break the Focus Sash. on the Gengar, and I would have double knocked out regardless. Even if my opponent got a Willis into Kartana and a Willis into Scrafty, I would have still won the game regardless because my opponent can't actually touch those Pokemon. So Tailwind can go up, that's fine, but like Willis is gonna basically be useless. Tailwind's gonna basically be useless. All I have to do is just get a wait for one of these Pokemon to go down, and I get a free switch into my my Tapu Koko, and that's basically the game. So we'll go for Smart Strike does more. I already knocked the Votos item, and we'll go for Low Kick. Yeah, like I don't think there's any way. Even Oblivion Wing wouldn't save my opponent here. Snarl wouldn't really save my opponent either, and yeah, knockoff is that last move. It does come out to the Kartana, doesn't even knock it out because we did get rid of its black glasses earlier. Let's see if this KOs the double knockout. Oh wait, I knocked off? I thought I low kicked. Oh well, luckily it didn't matter. I thought I clicked low kick for some reason. I guess I am still tired, but regardless, like I had this game locked up either way. Yeah, let's just low kick now. Let's just low kick now. I don't even think the low kick would have knocked out the Evo. I thought that range to be realistic, just because Scrafty doesn't have the highest attack stat in the world. It's like, was it base 75 or base 90? I think it's base 90. It might be 75. I don't feel like it's 70. I think it's 90. I think it is 90. But yeah, like able to put in the work, which was really good. Scrafty just again really solid in that matchup. I thought the matchup was actually pretty bad, but it wasn't Scarf Ogre, which was pretty nice, and my opponent needed Tailwind up, and I was just able to get so much momentum with my Tapu Koko immediately. Like that big damage in Incineroar, you saw that big damage, right? That big damage in Incineroar was really, really nice, and I was just able to Volt Switch, get Scrafty back in, more Fake Out, stall out the Tailwind, and then, yeah, as we got Gwen from the United States, 15-14 rating. As our next opponent, bring the team Zarnoger with a Tapu Bulu over the Amoonguss. Huh. That's a really weird adjustment, but I'll definitely take that adjustment because it works out so much better for my team, actually. My Necrozma has a lot of fun against my opponent's team, I feel like, overall. Yeah. I kind of want to lead Double Steal here. What are the options I have? I could lead... I mean, I could just go Necrozma, Scrafty here. The problem is I don't know. Okay, you don't usually lead Xerneas against my team. I feel like none of the Tornogre players have ever led Xerneas against my team, and I feel like that's fair because like what's Xerneas really doing to my team? So I think it's better to go. Do I even like my Kyogre in this matchup? It's useful. I think I'm going to go Necrozma Scrafty as my lead. I don't feel like you lead Xerneas here. Xerneas Incin, which is the only lead like I'm actually worried about with this lead. I will go Kyogre, and I think Kartana in the back. I think Kartana is just very safe against this team. Yeah, I like Kartana in the back more than Lurantis, I feel like, just because the Kartana can function outside Trick Room and take one hit from the Xerneas. And I don't really need Lurantis, especially with the aromatherapy. I don't need it because there's no Amoonguss here. So I didn't exactly remember. It's been a while since I actually played the Tornogre matchup with this team. So let's see how this is going to go. We're going to see the Tornadus Kartana, which is actually a very interesting lead because I basically get Trick Room up here. I don't think Kartana has any way to stop Trick Room. You can knock out my Necrozma Berry. I don't really mind that too much. Since I don't feel like Xerneas is in the factor zone here. So I'll just Trick Room and Fake Out. Kartana's not really threatening much damage. It's not even, yeah, it's just not threatening damage, which is a huge. I could see Incineroar come in. I think Incineroar would be a very nice play for my opponent. Maybe for a Tornadus. Yeah, I would probably switch out for the Tornadus if I was my opponent. But no switch out, so we do get a Fake Out, which does break a potential Focus Sash, and just a Sacred Sword actually just in the Scrafty, which is completely okay here. I'll definitely take that, as we do get a Trick Room up. How much do I need Scrafty? Scrafty might be valuable, so I might want to go Kyogre here and just try to knock out the Tornadus. I could also double him into Tornadus as well. I wonder if Sunsteel Strike does knock out Tornadus at the range. Because I want Sunsteel Strike and just knock off. Because like Cortana is like a Sacred Source to 3 KO. It's not doing anything. I feel like Sunsteel Strike should knock out Tornadus. I think I'm actually just going to knock off the card. Now that I think about it. Yeah, knocking off card's fine. Because I want to put it in range of Water Spout. Yeah, get rid of Assault Vest, which based on the damage it did to my Scrafty, yeah, it looks like it doesn't have much attack investment. So it probably was Assault Vest. And we'll Sunsteel Strike. Let's see if this knocks out Tornadus. Tornadus is a decently bulky Pokemon. But yeah, it actually barely hangs on. Sacred Sword's my Necrozma though. Is it just a raw Hurricane? It actually goes for it. Doesn't get it. I don't think that was the play there. I really don't think that was the play there. I'm gonna Photon Geyser. Yeah, Photon Geyser. The Tornadus is fine. I get my Kyogre in because I want to start abusing the Water Spout pressure that I have, and save Scrafty in the back because keeping the fake out pressure is really useful. And I don't think you're leaf playing the Scrafty. You might actually leaf play the Scrafty now that I think about it, because leaf playing the Scrafty might not proc the berry, and you might not want to proc a berry, but you don't know whether I'm like Assault Vest Scrafty or not, I guess. So we will go out our Kyogre here. Let's see what my opponent does. Just stays in with Tornadus, which makes a lot of sense. We're going to get a Photon Geyser into the Tornadus. I'm actually surprised it wasn't a knockoff in the Necrozma, but maybe my opponent thinks I'm weakness policy and doesn't want to proc it, which does make sense. Sacred Sword does come out into Necrozma once again. Again, just minuscule damage, but that minuscule damage might matter if there's a Xerneas in the back because you want to chip it, especially for Kyogre's Water Spout range. Kyogre is actually going to come out here. And I mean, Cortana without an Assault Vest goes down to a Water Spout at the range of that, especially since I'm full HP. And Water Spout Photon Geyser just does so much to Kyogre that I don't see a reason not to go for it. If it's Scarf Kyogre, it's super frail. And yeah, my opponent just allow me to get the Water Spout off. We'll knock out the Cortana. Good damage to the Kyogre. We might be able to knock out Photon Geyser depending on the spread. And if it's a roll, it might be a roll, I think. I'm pretty sure it's a roll. We'll see. Photon Geyser are going to come out. And yeah, I just barely misses the knockouts. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, which is fine. Origin Pulse going to come out, which not going to do too much to my Kyogre. It does knock out my Necrozma, however, so a bit scary, I guess. But I mean, we just go Cortana here. Yeah, we just go Cortana here. And Incineroar? Okay, it's Incineroar in the back. I should have brought out Scrafty then. I just didn't want Xerneas to come out because if Xerneas came out, like, it could have actually been difficult if you double protect and then you Geo. Or if you Geo'd immediately and I had to force the switch out. So yeah, I mean, still not a bad spot for me at all, realistically. Especially the Kyogre Scarf. With the Kyogre Scarf, like, this game's really in my favor. I think I just Water Spout and I knock off the Kyogre. I don't see a drawback to the play. I'm pretty sure Scrafty just wins in the endgame, especially if that is Scarf Kyogre. And I don't really mind if you flare with my card here. And yeah, you're going to fake out my Kyogre. And it's not Scarf on the Kyogre, okay. If it's Specs and gets a crit, that might matter, but... Oh, that's Specs, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's Specs. That did way too much to my card, I think. Yeah, it was Specs Kyogre. I guess I should have noticed because I feel like, yeah. I thought it might have been Mystic Water based on the damage it did to Necrozma and Kyogre, but I wasn't exactly too sure. Now this game's pretty much sealed up. I'll go for an... I mean, Scrafty pretty much seals it up in the back. Yeah. I mean, there's so many ways I can win this game realistically. I could go into Scrafty, just protect Kyogre, and then fake out the following turn. I have no reason to really do that, though, because I could knock off the berry and then double Sacred Sword the Incineroar. We're gonna see knockoff in a Kyogre. Does get rid of me. I am holding that power item because I do want to reduce my speed, so I underspeed Incineroar and Trick Room and then just able to blow it up before it U-turns out. And we'll get Scrafty in. It also works for the acid spray combinations, which is super solid. Get Scrafty in. We just go for Fake Out and Sacred Sword, I think. Yeah, there's no drawback. I could low kick, but like, what's the point of losing cart? I mean, realistically, this game's over. Like, I don't see a single way my opponent can come back through this. Get Sacred Sword off into the Incineroar. Almost picks up the knockout, but since we don't have much attack investment, we're not going to be able to knock out the Incineroar. But this next one will. And even if this was Quick Claw Incineroar with like Heat Wave, let's say, no way to win. Even if you crit the Scrafty, even if you're Blaze on the Incineroar, there's no way. So Incineroar just gonna go down to the Sacred Sword, and we are able to pick up a second win for today's episode. I think that's gonna be it for today's episode. I know it's more of a shorter episode, but it's pretty late out here. I was having difficulties finding the first game. It took like forever to find the first game. Actually, it took like 20 minutes, and I don't think I have enough time to record another battle. But it should still be like, what, 24 minutes, which I think is fine for an episode. Hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2019 Back to Battles. If you did enjoy, please leave a like down below. Show your support. I know that Sun Series is basically over, but we have a lot of stuff coming up, and I hope you'll join me for these last few episodes of the Sun Series while it is here. But we'll be transitioning to the Moon Series. I believe it is January 7th when the ladder changes. So be sure to hit that follow. Be sure to subscribe if you want to follow up on the Moon Series content when it releases. And hit that bell notification. Feel free to comment down below, especially what you want to see in 2019. A lot of new stuff will be coming out for the channel in 2019. I'm very excited to share some of the new content I've been working on, and yeah, experiment around a bit. So hopefully, I hope that you will enjoy the content as well. Otherwise, that's going to be it for me. Thank you all for tuning in. You can check out my social media down below. Feel free to check out the team as well in the basement in the description. But otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people. Until we battle again, I'll catch you all later.